All right, what is going on, guys? That is right. Stage number 1 results. You guys saw the title. That is what we are talking. So super quick. We're going to jump right into it because we got to get to the 9 to 5. But some of the results are already in for the SSV category. Cars are done. Bikes are finished up. Very short stage for these guys today. 4 hours roughly for these guys to finish it up. Let's jump on over to the map. So if you guys saw last night's preview show, very straightforward on the stage. 26% dirt track, 65% sand. 9% stone, 86-kilometer commute to the start of the stage, roughly 50 miles-ish to get there. 413 kilometers of special stage or selective section. That is where they actually put together that 4-hour time that they've got. So we'll talk about that here in times in just a second. Roughly going about 250, 260 miles last night. So very short stage, very fast. If you think about 4 hours, 250 to 260 miles, not a bad deal. So that was a quick recap. If you guys want more, you could go back to yesterday's stage preview, follow up a little bit on that or follow along on that one. In the meantime, let's talk bike results. Finishing stage 1 as your winner, Daniel Sanders on the Red Bull KTM factory team, 4 hours, 41 minutes, and 27 seconds. So very well done there. Ricky Brabeck in the number 2 spot, 2 minutes and 4 seconds back. Ross Branch going to be third on the Hero Motorsports team, 2 minutes and 26 seconds back. Skylar Howes in the number 4 spot, Monster Energy Honda HRC, 4 minutes and 7 seconds back. Tasha Sharena in the number 5 spot, 4 minutes, 42 seconds back, followed by Luciano Benavides on the Red Bull KTM factory team, 10 minutes and 2 seconds back. And someone got a penalty, 2 minutes. So we'll find out more of that, I'm sure. Pablo Quintanilla on the Monster Energy Honda team, 11 minutes and 6 seconds back. Adrian Van Beveren in the number 8 spot, Monster Energy Honda, 14:44 back for him. Nacho Cornejo, Hero Motorsports Team Rally, 18 minutes and 9 seconds back for him. And rounding out the top 10, Bradley Cox on the BAS World KTM Racing Team, 25 minutes and 56 seconds back. So that is your top 10 on the bikes at the moment. Let's scroll a little further down. Bias Ebster, in the number 13 spot, 30 minutes and 29 seconds back. Iker Canet on the Red Bull Factory KTM Racing Team, 32 minutes and 12 seconds back. Kevin Benavides in the number 17 spot, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing, finishing 34:23 back. Then we have the Covey entrance, Neil Sterick in that number 19 spot, finishing up 34 minutes and 58 seconds back. And then Mason Klein in the number 20th spot, Covey Factory Racing there, 35 minutes and 11 seconds back. Davisi in the number 23 spot, BAS World KTM Racing Team, 40 minutes and 33 seconds back. And then we'll scroll down a little bit further, see who else we've got here. Let's find Jacob Argubright, 37th RS Moto Honda Rally Team, finishing 55:12 back. Mare in that 38 spot, HT Rally Raid, 2 minutes and 15 seconds back. Let's continue to take a look on down the list. I did hear something, though, about Harriet Noah in the Rally 2 category. My understanding is he might have retired early from the rally due to an injury. So we'll find out more, confirm more about that. But you guys have probably already seen it if you're following some of the channels that are covering the Dakar as well. Okay, let's jump on over and talk about the vehicle category. So we're going to have some of the SSVs mixed up in this one. But Chichere in the number 1 spot, X-Ray Mini JCW team, finishing up 4 hours, 35 minutes, and 53 seconds. Seth Quintero in the number 2 spot out of the United States in the Toyota Gazoo Racing vehicle, going to be finishing up 50 seconds back. Then you've got Beriawa finishing up 3rd, Toyota Gazoo Racing, 1 minute and 3 seconds back. Prokop in the number 4 spot, finishing up 1 minute and 4 seconds back. Gutierrez in the number 5 spot, finishing 1:28 back. Ferreira in the number 6 spot, 1 minute 53 seconds back. El Matador Carlos Sainz from Spain, Ford M Sport entry, 2 minutes and 32 seconds back. Moraes in the number 8 spot, Toyota Gazoo Racing, finishing 2:33 back. And then our favorite bike guys, Toby Price and Sam Sunderland, finishing 9th, 3 minutes and 13 seconds back. Then we're going to have Letgain on the in the Toyota Gazoo Racing vehicle. It's a little different for the bikes versus the cars. So 10th, finishing up 10th, 3 minutes and 27 seconds back. So really good spread on the field there. Not too far apart, a little closer knit than the bike guys, we would say. But yeah, that is your top 10 in the vehicles so far. I'm going to go a little bit further down, look for some of our notables. Mitch Guthrie and Kellen Walsh finishing 13th, 5 minutes and 12 seconds back in the Ford M Sport entry. Schroeder in the number 14 spot, PS Laser Racing, 6 minutes, 2 seconds back. Ekstrom in the Ford M Sport entry, 7 minutes and 17 seconds back, finishing 16th. Nanny Roma in the number 18 spot, Ford M Sport, 8 minutes and 43 seconds back. Nasser Alatia, 20th, 10 minutes and 28 seconds back. So a little further back for him. Then we have Guerrero in the 23rd spot, Red Bull Off-Road Junior Team USA by BFG, 11 minutes and 23 seconds back. Sebastian Loeb, the Dacia Sandriders, 24th, finishing 11:31 back. So very well done there. Then we'll cross down a little bit further, see who else we see. We got a few more guys looking at Leverton and Tay Perry, Red Bull Off-Road Junior Team USA by BFG. 26 minutes and 44 seconds for them, finishing up if in the vehicle category. So we'll look a little bit more at this. Let's see what we have got. Brock Hager and Max Eddy, 45th. Sebastian Loeb Racing, Razor Factory Racing, 29:30 for them. And then we keep going on down here. A lot of these vehicles already finishing up, and we'll find out right now. We'll jump over to the SSV tab. And if you guys want to know where I'm seeing this, this is all coming from the Dakar app. So you can see these results, the same thing that I'm looking at. Just download the Dakar app, and you can follow along stage by stage and get some of those news clippings and stuff like that, and some cool videos. All right, so let's take a look at the SSV category. Xavier Desiltre picking the win up on that one so far. So we've got people still out on stage working their way around. So as they do that, these standings could change. So a little bit time left before everybody is in for this one. But you've got Xavier Desiltre first, Sebastian Loeb Racing, RZR Razor Factory Racing, 4 hours, 52 minutes, and 43 seconds. And then in the number 2 spot, Lopez Contardo, 7 minutes and 35 seconds, Can-Am Factory Team. Brock Hager and Max Eddy, third, Sebastian Loeb Racing, 12 minutes and 40 seconds. Ferrioli in the number 4 spot, Can-Am Factory, 19 minutes and 54 seconds back. Pinto in the number 5 spot, Old Friends Rally Team, 32 minutes and 7 seconds back. Then Diaz in the number 6 spot, Santag Racing, 32 minutes and 44 seconds back for him. And in the number 7 spot so far, Besaid from France on Sebastian Loeb Racing, 36 minutes and 41 seconds back. Let's take a look at the truck categories. These guys are starting to finish up. These guys are crazy. These are those big trucks with 3 people in them. Really, they only have the third person because they need 2 people to change the tire at least. Just saying. So, anyway, that is the results as they stand right now at 6:13 a.m. or 5:13 p.m. Saudi time. So, I don't know. Let's talk a little bit about predictions. So, some of these guys finishing up stage number 1. We know stage number 2 is going to be the 48-hour chrono stage. We'll talk a little bit more about that tonight in the preview, so you guys have an idea of what the chrono stage is, how it gets ran. We'll talk more about it in the preview, so don't miss that preview tonight. Should be roughly live right around 8 o'clock. I try and get it right before the guys start the stage. So do remember, we are 11 hours behind the Saudi Arabian times. Okay, let's talk predictions. Further down the list, if the starting list is going to be your finishing order, typically it is, you've got guys that are falling down a little bit further down the list. Particularly that sweet spot, I think that where Mason and Niels Therick are sitting 19th and 20th in the bike category is going to give them a little bit of a boost because they're going to have basically about 18 tracks to follow. It depends on how quickly they pick off some of the slower riders or some of the riders that are just in front of them. That could lead to them moving up the rankings quickly for that stage. They're going to have 1,000 kilometers, basically 967 kilometers that they've got to cover on stage number 2 for the chrono stage. And just to give you a quick idea on that chrono stage is that they race for a certain amount of time and then they pause the clock and then you continue that race the next day. So stage 2 is really a 2-day stage wrapped up into one stage number. So very, very long stage. A lot can happen. Mason acknowledging in the pre-race interview that we did around the shakedown that is a very, very tough stage. It was the one that gave him a little bit of grief last year. So we'll see how it shakes out this year. But I think he's got a really good starting position. The fast guys up front, Daniel Sanders opening the stage. I think that's going to be great. These guys, him, Skylar Howes, Ricky Brabeck, all of these guys know how to navigate. It's now becoming quickly a known sum. So the navigational errors, the detriment of opening a stage and having to be the first one to figure out a road book in particular, or a particularly tricky note, is starting to fade away. I think that when early on these guys were headed out, going to the Dakar for their first time, just getting into rally racing, I think that the chances of something like that happening are never zero, but they are definitely starting to reduce in occurrences. And I think that it is not as bad as it used to be for some of these guys. But that's not to say there's always the luck part of it. There's always the preparation side of it. And I know that those guys have been preparing like crazy. You know, we talked with Mason. He mentioned about doing 3 hours of stationary bike a day while playing the Dakar game, which is a pretty interesting way of training. But I say that, but those road books in the Dakar game are actual real Dakar road books. So just keeping the mind fresh and keeping the mind looking at road books, keeping the mind speaking the language, I think will help you a lot. So I think that's where that translates to. But we'll see. I think he's playing a conservative game. I think he's got that stage 2 coming up with the rest of the guys. You know, the whole entire Honda team. I want to see somebody either from Honda or Kove put the bike on the podium. I would really like to see that. You know, it's been a rough run for KTM and the Austrian group as of late. You know, they've downsized the team to just 3 riders. The 3 riders, you know, you got Daniel Sanders out front. He's got a task ahead of him, but then you've got the Benavides guys a little bit further back, so there could be some help there. We'll see how it goes. So anyway, with that being said, guys, it is time to get to the 9 to 5. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. If you are watching this on YouTube, don't forget, drop a comment, hit that like button. If you got any questions, anybody I missed, anybody that we should be following a little bit closer. Again, SSV, I wanted to do a little bit more coverage, but guys aren't done yet. So got that one. If you're listening on any of the podcast platforms, please do not hesitate to reach out on Instagram at Chasing Waypoints and drop us a message if you guys have questions, if you guys have something that maybe we want to cover or something that I need to dig a little further into. So with that being said, we're out of here. See you guys.